Good morning, this is Deepak. How are you? Today is Saturday here in California, and I am joining you right now here to continue our discussions that are being generated at discoveringyourcosmicself.com. These discussions are a result of people engaging in dialogue and conversation and questioning from my book. Here it is. From my book that some of you are reading, which is You Are the Universe, Discovering Your Cosmic Self and Why It Matters. So thank you for expanding the conversation here. And today's question comes from Diane E. Harper. And it's a very interesting question. She says, I'm making connections in language differences between various studies. Example, God, equivalent to the first law of thermodynamics, unchangeable and sacred. And then A Course in Miracles, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists, things are not real. Am I on the right track? So, dear Diane, even if you're on the right track, it's always kind of a little bit controversial when we make comparisons between scientific insights and spiritual insights. And scientists in particular are allergic to this kind of comparison, although, frankly speaking, I do enjoy it. So let's kind of address your question in detail, with the caveat that scientists are going to object to this kind of comparison, okay? So what is the first law of thermodynamics? The first law of thermodynamics is frequently or always referred to as the law of conservation of energy. And basically it states that energy cannot be created or destroyed in an isolated system. What's the second law of thermodynamics? The second law of thermodynamics is the entropy or disorder of an isolated system increases, always increases with time. And the third law of thermodynamics, and I'm just making sure that I'm not saying anything that is controversial, and the third law is the entropy of a system approaches a constant value as the temperature approaches absolute zero. So what is absolute zero? It's the ground state as defined in quantum mechanics. The 0 point energy state, the lowest point. Okay. So if you take all these and then you question what is the origin of the universe, then you get into various problems that become quite difficult to understand. But here it is in the summary. The origin of the universe, the origin of energy, and the origin of time are all probably the same. I would say not probably, are definitely the same. Definitely the same. So the origin of the universe is, as a lot of people are now saying, a lot of good scientists are saying, the origin of the universe is from nothing. The universe creates itself from nothing. And so what is that nothing? Is it an empty void, or is it the potential of space-time, energy, information, matter? Those are, of course, constructs, human constructs that we have created to explain our knowing and our experience of what we know as humans. So that is another conversation, but I think the essential question here is, what is the total amount of energy in the universe, which is constantly being reshuffled and recycled as everything that we experience. Well, if you ask a lot of people who discuss these matters, and I'm not the expert, at least one hypothesis says that the total amount of energy in the universe is zero. The total amount of the energy is zero. So the energy that we call positive energy, or some people call positive energy, is a result of all the mass in the universe, and the negative energy is the amount of gravity that counteracts that. And so if you add it all up, this is what you get, zero. The universe is a reshuffling of nothingness into everything. Now, we can go into what is the nature of black holes, what happened in the Planck epoch, and those are matters for discussion elsewhere. But let's go to Diane's point that she raised, and she quoted from the Course in Miracles, and the two lines that she quoted: nothing real can be threatened. So what is real? Real is that which is timeless and eternal. So if something is timeless and eternal, then it cannot be threatened. And so that's very well said. And then the second point that she raised, again as a quote from the Course in Miracles: nothing unreal exists. So what is unreal? Unreal is that which is time-bound, that is born and dies as an experience in every moment of now. So that which is time-bound, that which arises and subsides in every moment of now, cannot be real, because it is over as soon as it's born. So those two statements are very good. The timeless is real, and the time-bound is unreal. And so the time-bound does not actually exist. It's part of the dream state that we take to be real. Nothing unreal exists. The time-bound that arises and is over in a flash cannot be real. It's part of the dream that we're all collectively participating in. So now let's go back to what you call, how you tried to compare this insight from the laws of thermodynamics. The first law is, everything remains a constant. Energy cannot be created and destroyed, but remember, in a closed system. Where did the energy come from? It came from the same nothingness that ultimately resulted in our experience of the space-time continuum in which we experience causality. But where it came from is acausal. Acausal, which means without cause. And it's without cause because it's not in time. Anything that is in time, we as human beings create linear cause-effect relationships out of it as a result of our perceptual experiences. But our perceptual experiences actually have their origin in a dimensionless, inconceivable, spaceless, timeless, unbounded awareness, which can be the only reality from where all experience comes. So I think when we see that, then we can say the only reality is timeless being, and everything else is time-bound becoming. everything else is time-bound becoming. Reena Bindra says, what is A Course in Miracles? What's that? Well, it's a very well-known text which is supposed to be channeled and representing ultimate truth, and I can do a commentary on the Course in Miracles at some later date. But let's come back to what we're saying. Timeless being is real, and time-bound becoming is not real. It's part of the dream, and so this takes us back to the fundamentals of what we've been exploring in this book, You Are the Universe, Discovering Your Cosmic Self. Your cosmic self, and actually even your personal self, is timeless, and everything else is time-bound. And so to take the time-bound as reality is to be living in a dream world. Okay, so I think I've answered your question. You are on the right track, Dan. But now let me see some of the questions that are coming up. So, there are very interesting questions that are coming up here. And I'm going to look at them right now. Okay, so there are questions and comments coming from Kimberly, Jane, Heather, Amelia, Daniela, Joanne, Bob, Friedman, and many others. And I'm going to try and see what I can answer right now to see where we're all on the same page, okay? So Shiva Nation says, I'm the universe is a Mayavadi philosophy. Never mind all these philosophies, just let's concentrate on what we can understand and what we can experience. We can experience timeless being, and we can experience perceptual reality and cognitive reality, which is obviously time-bound and arising and subsiding in every moment of now. Elena Georgiadou asks, is this what we call the observer? And when we say observer-based science, do we mean that consciousness of the scientist is observing? Yes, but do remember the individual observer and the mode of observation and that which is observed are all modes of differentiation of the timeless awareness, which is the source of all knowers, all modes of knowing, and all objects known. Sarah Sunshine Stokes says, A Course in Miracles is a wonderful book and set me on the wonderful spiritual journey. Grateful for that book and when it came into my life for evolution. A miracle in itself. I agree, Sarah, it is a great course and a great text. Liz Madsen, can you repeat the lover's whisper in silent aspect? Where is it from? I don't know, I think I made it up. When you're angry, you shout. When you start to fall in love, you whisper. And when you become love, you are silent. Okay. Philip Urso says, if this is a dream, wouldn't a scientist be merely a dream figure studying the fabric of a dream? You got it, Philip. You say it so beautifully and so succinctly. I have nothing to add. Why do you think the dream reality started in the first place? I think this is from Hasro. I think for entertainment. Why do you go to the movies? Even though you know that the stories are all made up. Daniela Divani, science has implanted the illusion or the wrong idea that they have to see to believe. They have fear and fight against fear, and that's part where science lost its essence. Okay, I think science is very useful. It's a useful construct to create technology, both divine and diabolical. I've said that in the past. But you are right, Daniela. Science is based on what they call empirical facts, which are just a blip on the vast ocean of the invisible, non-empirical. But even facts are just modes of knowing. Facts are modes of knowing in waking state of consciousness of human beings. So facts are not ultimate reality. Ultimate reality is that in which the mode of knowing and experience occurs, which we then end up calling facts. I'm realizing that all of you here in this forum are really so sophisticated that we must be a very small fragment of society that is still concerned with mundane things and causing so much violence in the world, or this bombing and craziness in the Middle East, in our own country, recently in Sweden. It's all because people are so enmeshed in their dream reality, which is now becoming a nightmare. Here is a comment from Lina. She says, "We are blessed to have you here in this time-bound experience." Well, we are all blessed to be with each other in this time-bound experience. So we are all sharing the same dream. That's it. Arlene Johnson. So what if the doctor tells you you're sick but you don't feel it and believe it? Should you believe yourself? Well, ultimately you should trust yourself. But, the body and the mind can experience sickness. And that's part of the experience of reality. Everything that we call reality, perceptual reality, is based on contrast. Mauricio says, started your book last night, can't put it down. Mauricio, thank you. I think this book, along with Menas's collaboration, You Are the Universe, was a very joyful journey for me, and I'm so happy that I'm sharing it with a lot of you, and that you're enjoying the experience of this sharing. David Burbridge, thank you for the Book of Secrets. It put me on the path. Thank you, David. Actually, the new book takes off where the Book of Secrets in a way left, but it has more science in it. Leigh Ann Lombardo Davis is beautiful. When you become love, you are silent. Yes, there's nothing to say because you are love. Okay, so I think we are covered. By the way, I've started taking some time every day, about 30 minutes, to answer questions on Twitter, just short answers, and people seem to be enjoying it, so I'm going to continue doing it, and we can exchange ideas there as well. Arzu Tansal says, reality and dream, they are states of our minds. Namaste. They are states of our consciousness. Waking state and dream state are states of our consciousness. Consciousness itself is reality, in which those states are modified forms of awareness. Claudia Payne says, are we waking up from dreaming at any time? I think on this forum some of us are sharing our wakefulness. Okay. Gabriela Sortes says, dancing is a fact. Dancing is a beautiful experience. And I'm reminded of this poem somewhere, I think it's from Rumi. Those seen dancing were thought to be mad by those who could not hear the music. So ultimate dance is the dance of the universe, and our bodies are dancing to it, even though some can't hear the tune. Nature still dances, and our body, being part of that, dances with it. It's part of the activity of the cosmos. We are the dance of the universe in this moment and every moment. Lindsay Page Leonard says, I thank all the friends I'm making. So do I. Okay, take care. Until tomorrow. Bye-bye.